Hi, I'm Tammy, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking through everything that I've sewn in July. I've made 2 dresses I'm really happy with. I did also want to make some scrunchies to use over some leftover fabric, but I never got around to doing that, so I'll try and do that this week actually. But I just want to talk through these 2 dresses that I made this month because I'm really proud of them. I think they turned out really well. So the first dress that I made was actually a hack of the Nikko Dress by True Bias. This is the pattern. So I'm such a sucker now for using digital downloads. I very rarely now buy actual print patterns. I just find it much easier to purchase a PDF. It's so much easier. I can store it easier, and I always have a copy of it, which is quite nice. So yeah, this is the True Bias Nikko dress and top pattern. It's such a staple. I know lots of people have made this, but I personally never tried it, and I knew that I'd make this time and time again. So basically, I wanted to make a sequin dress, and I tried to find a dress that had like a deep V and was quite fitted, but I was hoping it wouldn't have a zip because I've never used sequin fabric before. I didn't know how hard it would be to handle. And then I came across this pattern, and this pattern has no fastening, so no zips or anything. It recommends to have, I think, 75% stretch, so it can fit over your head, but that's obviously because it's got a roll neckline, so you need extra stretch to get that over your head. But I thought if I hack this and like cut the top of the neck and arm area off, it should hopefully work. I just basically went all in and just tried to basically hack the pattern. In the instructions actually, it has a stretch chart, and the sequin fabric that I bought and the lining, I made sure it stretched at least like halfway. It definitely wasn't 75% stretch fabric, but because it had no roll neck, I thought it'd be completely fine to kind of go along with. And because I really did change the whole look of the dress, I didn't actually end up following the instructions. I just purely used it to kind of use the pattern of it. So the first thing that I did with this dress is I made this really rough prototype, like a little toil of what the dress could look like if I hacked it correctly. So as you can see, I really altered the neckline and the armholes and then put 2 straps on just to see how that would look. And I actually toiled this in a cotton that had no stretch because I wanted to make sure it would definitely go over my head. I think it was a good test to try if this would fit and what it would look like roughly. So I'm really glad I tested it, like even though it was rough. I'm not a person that toils much, and I personally find it such a long process, but for something like this, I just wanted to test it before I actually cut into the fabric and tried it out. So this is the final dress. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It might be hard to show, but as you can see, it's just such a lovely dress. It's got like a slit. I'll put a picture in or a video of me wearing it. But basically, I lined the whole dress, but I got confused at the side seams how I would do a side slit on the leg and have lining. So actually at that point, like the neckline is all fully lined and concealed, but in the side seams, they're actually raw. I think I need to put some bias binding around it, but I'm not sure if you can see. But other than that, it actually worked out really well. And there is some stretch to this dress. Slightly there's stretch. There's actually more stretch in the sequin fabric than there is in the lining. But I think it's such a classic, simple dress. I think it turned out really well. This fabric literally goes everywhere. I had no idea how hard it would be to actually work with sequin fabric. I know you're meant to take out the sequins, especially at the bottom of the dress to hem it. But I didn't do that, and it turned out completely fine. This is what the hem looks like. But yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I didn't think it would be successful because the fabric didn't have enough stretch, but it goes over my head. So I ended up cutting out a size 8, which is what this toil was. And then I realised just to have a bit more stretch and ease, I'd rather make a size 10, which is what I did in the end. and I think that was definitely the right move to make. But I think it just like ignited this thing in me where I really like just hacking patterns and seeing how far I can push someone else's pattern to make it something different. And I think this is really successful, so I'm really happy with how it's turned out. And I'll definitely be making the Nikko dress again for maybe autumn, exactly how the pattern is instructed. But I think it's such a fun thing just to try and see how much you can push a pattern. So the next pattern I wanted to talk about was actually my pattern, the Rhea Dress, which is what I released earlier this month. This is what it looks like. It's available to buy on my Etsy shop. This has been such a labour of love. I've really enjoyed the process of making this pattern. I personally love dresses that have kind of a deep V neckline, that are really comfy and easy to wear, that feel effortlessly stylish, and that was kind of my main inspiration for making this dress, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. And it basically just comes with illustrated steps and all the instructions that you need to make it. It comes in UK sizes 6 to 16, which is really fun. So I had a lot of trouble actually thinking about what fabric I wanted to make this in, because I knew I wanted to make it in a cotton, but previously all the cottons that I've ever used are quite stiff in their texture and quite hard to wear. But then I came across this website called Storrs London, and they sell the most amazing fabric. So they only sell cotton, but it's like 100% Egyptian, so it's so soft. So I chose this really lovely red and navy floral fabric, and I can't tell you just how like nice and fluid this cotton moves. It doesn't feel like cotton, it feels like a silky, I don't know, it feels like a really silky fabric that just has the structure of cotton, but it's not rigid or anything. So this is the dress. It has a deep V neckline. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's got the gathered waist and it's got the ruffled bottom. I mean, I can imagine wearing this on holiday. It's such a quick make. And it's really like breathable. The bodice is actually lined, which is really nice, and then at the waistline the skirt is attached, but that's not lined. That's why when you make this dress, I think it's important to choose a fabric that's not too see-through, because you don't want, I personally didn't want to make the dress fully lined. I think it kind of takes away from the kind of hassle-free nature of it. I think you know, if you're wearing this on a holiday, you don't want something that's too heavy to wear. But I absolutely love this dress. I'm really obsessed now with like skinny straps and a deep V. I don't know why. But I think it's such a nice take on a more modern, kind of effortlessly stylish dress. And it's something that I've really enjoyed making this pattern. I'll definitely have so many ideas of what else I want to create next, but I'm in love with this. I think actually I'm going to make this, I saw on Pinterest somewhere a dress that was colour blocked. So I was thinking for maybe this weekend of making this dress and making the bodice and the ruffle the same colour, but then having the skirt something completely different, and maybe also doing tie straps. So this pattern comes with normal straps but also tie strap option, and I'm thinking of making that and just sharing it online, because I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And I also just want to say thank you for everyone's support so far in my patterns. It's been so nice just to receive everyone's lovely messages. It's definitely made me realise how supportive the sewing community is. I started Instagram to share my makes because I followed lots of people before I started my Instagram on my personal Instagram account, and I just realised, like, I always thought maybe I wasn't good enough to start sharing things online, or maybe I needed to wait a few more years to get better before I start sharing things. But you know, from day one, just sharing things, I can't believe how amazing and supportive everyone's been. So I just want to say thank you for that. And yeah, like, I just love sewing. I love making dresses. I love making clothes that, like, now I find it really weird. I can't imagine going into a shop anymore and buying a dress. Like, obviously I still buy jeans and underwear and things like that from shops, but like, I did a closet clear out because I have quite a few makes now that I want to make space for in my cupboard. And I found like ready to wear tops like this. I've got trousers that I haven't worn before for ages. But yeah, I can imagine buying things like this from the shop, but I can't imagine buying dresses anymore from a shop, because I think, you know, personally, when I make clothes now, especially dresses, they have such value to when I wear them. I feel like I've accomplished something, and you know, wearing something that you've made like just feels so different. Like, but yeah, I love it. Love this dress. So yeah, that's everything I made this month. I really loved sewing these 2 dresses. I'm definitely going to make those scrunchies that I shared on Instagram. I think there was an image from 3 people, and the scrunchies that they make have like 2 or 3 different fabrics in one scrunchie, which looks kind of cool. So I think that's a really good scrap busting kind of project. I have a Tesco bag full of scrap fabric that I need to get rid of, or just repurpose into something like scrunchies. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed everything I've made this month. I think it's been such a productive month. Obviously I've released my pattern, and just honestly love hacking the Nikko dress, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone on Instagram hack it like how I hacked it, which is quite interesting. And I guess like it kind of taught me that if I can't find something specific in a pattern, I can just make it myself, or hack a pattern to make it exactly how I want it to be. But yeah, if you're thinking of hacking a pattern, definitely try it. Like, I understand that definitely it can feel quite intimidating. It might not turn out how I planned, but that's why making toils is a really good way of just testing it and see if it even works in the beginning. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everyone's support, and thank you for watching.